Hey everyone! Well, February 2022 has come and gone, and it will now wither away into oblivion as its essence floats away into the stream of forgotten things as we all edge ever closer to death. Which means it's time for the monthly month. Gosh, after the slow start that was January, February really shot off into the stars, so let's get into it and discuss some things that did occur this month. First up, we gosh darn only went and got ourselves a Nintendo Direct. Oof, I love Nintendo Directs. I don't know what it is, but as soon as Mr. Takahashi comes on screen and starts click-clacking those fingers, I'm just mesmerized. What can I say? The guy puts me into a trance. There was a bunch of great announcements, but one that really stood out to me, and I think a lot of people, would have to be Kirby. Kirby is the strangest mix of adorable and terrifying, and I'm into it. But I definitely couldn't believe my eyes as I watched Kirby stretch over the roof of the car, because that animation is way too visceral. But I've been loving all the memes and edits, and I'm more excited than ever for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Kirby and the other mouthful abilities have a similar feel to Cappy from Mario Odyssey, and I really hope they've just gone crazy with it. I'd love it if there were more forms than what we saw in the trailer, because I can already visualize a bunch of level design choices and boss fights based around all of these new abilities. I'm just gonna be over in a corner counting down the days until this game comes out, I guess. Another direct highlight for me was the announcement that we'll be getting Klonoa remasters. These games look gorgeous. I've been interested in the series for a while, but the original games are really expensive and hard to track down, so I'm keen to be able to finally give this series a go. If you've played the Klonoa games before and you know anything about them, feel free to leave a comment and let me know whether you think they'll be worth checking out. I also hope Xenoblade and Fire Emblem fans are feeling the love with the announcements of Xenoblade 3 and Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. I'm a bit burnt out on Warriors games, and I'm not crazy big on Xenoblade. I burnt myself out on side quests like 40 hours into Xenoblade 2, and I just kind of never got back into it. I've only played Xenoblade 2 though, so I'm not sure that I can make a fair assessment of the series as a whole. But I know that people love it, and I'm excited that people are excited. The announcement that Live Alive, a Japanese exclusive game, is getting a HD 2D remaster was super random. I'm all for bringing back games that were never released outside of Japan, and I love the art style, and it seems like a really interesting game with its episodic multi-character storytelling. In a similar way to Triangle Strategy though, I don't think that I can justify the price of these games for myself personally. It's actually kind of the same for Advance Wars. I think they're games that are worth every penny, but with so many games coming out, my wallet isn't big enough for them all. Plus, the indie scene is so strong, and I feel like I can get just as much playtime out of a $20 indie game, when I think Triangle Strategy is around $80 dues on the Australian eShop. I did play some of the Triangle Strategy demo though, and I think if you're into tactical RPGs, it's gonna be a must-buy. What else was there? There was so many things in this direct, I swear. Oh, that's right, we got Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings. To all the people out there clinging onto the dream of a Mother 3 localization, I see you. You are loved. Keep dreaming. Oh, and Nintendo doesn't care about you and they think you're trash. I think waiting for Silksong is hard, so I can't imagine what it's like to be a die-hard Mother series fan. Okay, I'm sure I've missed a bunch of stuff like the Metroid Dread update, Mario Kart Course DLC, Mario Strikers, Chrono Cross, and more, but in summary, the Direct was awesome and I thoroughly enjoyed watching every minute of it. Yes, even the weird baseball ad. What was going on with that baseball ad? Okay, moving on from the Direct, here's some random news for you. Apparently someone tried to rob a bank in Florida wearing a Sonic the Hedgehog mask. They failed to take any money and in true Sonic style fled on foot. No one was hurt in the incident, but as far as I can tell, the police are still on the lookout for Sonic. Remember kids, stealing is not okay. Don't be like Sonic. Back on Nintendo news, we recently got the announcement that the Wii U and 3DS eShops will be closing March of next year. You'll still be able to re-download games that you've already purchased prior to the March 2023 cutoff, but after that date, no more purchases. A lot of people are upset about this, and I think understandably so. There are a lot of games tied up in these eShops that will cease to exist, and with Nintendo not currently offering any alternative methods to play these titles, prices in the physical secondhand marketplace will continue to be ridiculous, and a lot of games will be inaccessible to people. I just don't get it. Nintendo is essentially forcing people to either emulate or pay $200 for a game that they sold for $20, and they're not even getting a cut in that sale. Nintendo is super strange when it comes to legacy content, and I have my doubts that services like the expansion pack will compensate for the loss of the Wii U and 3DS eShops, even if there are some substantial inclusions in the future. But to put some kind of silver lining on this discussion, at least we got Majora's Mask added to the Nintendo Switch's expansion pack. So at the very least, we can go live out those 3-day cycles to our heart's content. Well, those are some of the things that did occur this month. So next, let's talk about what did I been play? So I spent a big chunk of the month playing Pokemon Legends Arceus. I made a video about my early experiences with the game, and it kind of blew me away, to be honest. It definitely has a lot of issues and graphically suffers a lot, and the performance is a little wonky, and I'm sure it doesn't cater to everyone, but I honestly think that the core game loop of catching Pokemon and how battling works is the best that a Pokemon game has ever been. And I really hope that it nudges the main franchise, kind of steering it off into a new direction, or at the very least shows that Game Freak, if you be a little bit creative, we don't hate it. Like, it's fine. Because I feel like the last 10 years or so of Pokemon games has been so safe, and it's a franchise that could tell some interesting stories and actually create amazing open RPG worlds. Thoroughly blown away. I thought that late game it would get a little repetitive, but I'm actually still really enjoying it, and every time a new Pokemon I haven't seen before appears in front of me, my heart skips a beat, so it's been a happy time. Another game that I played was Switch Sports. I actually took part in the Switch Sports playtest demo that happened. Super weird though. Nintendo released like an NDA saying no one should talk about it online and discuss what they thought about it or their experience with it, which when you have millions of people taking part in your playtest, you think it's just kind of free publicity, but maybe they didn't want too many eyes on it in case it was a little broken and weird. And I did have a few issues of getting bumped out when I first started, but for the most part it ran really well, and I'd love to share footage with you, but just to be safe, I'm going to show you some Wii Sports footage instead. I'm not sure that my time with the playtest would make me actually want to go out and buy the game when it comes out, but it's going to be a crazy good party game, and it looks like they're really going all in with the online connectivity stuff, so having good online for a game like this is so important, and I can really see this game immediately getting bundled in with new Switches when people buy them. The last game that I want to mention that I played a lot this month was Star Wars Jedi Academy. I love this game as a kid, and I've wanted to go back and make a video on it for a while now, so I finally put some time aside to sit down and play through the whole game. I think people even still play this game online against each other today because it has shockingly good force powers and lightsaber duels, and it was beautiful. You know when you go back and play an older game and you kind of have to look through a nostalgia lens? I did not have that for this game. It genuinely holds up. Plus, what's not to love about running around and force gripping people and choking them out whilst you throw them off ledges into the abyss below? Well, those are some of the things I've been playing. Feel free to share any games you've been playing in the comments below. But now it's time for Who's That Pokemon Fusion. Okay, so I got a friend to use the random online Pokemon fusion generator, and we're now going to try to guess what two Pokemon we think have been fused together, so let's do it. Okay, so I immediately have no idea what that is. Kind of looks like the thing at the back there is Chimchar, but I'm pretty sure that this is only first generation Pokemon, and well, it looks like a bird, and that looks like fire, so what's a fire? Moltres? It's probably Moltres with something. And I have no idea what that something is. There's like a weird round thing here. I'm just going to say Moltres and Diglett. It's either that. It's either Moltres and Diglett, or it's like a turkey crossed with a pineapple. Okay, everyone, put your answer in the comments below, or just keep it in your head. And it's time for the reveal. Wait, what the heck? Is that Moltres and Ivysaur? What the heck is that? Apparently it's a Wartortle and a Moltres, and its name is Wartress. Well, that's terrifying. How did you go? Did you get it right? I got the Moltres part right, so that's pretty good, isn't it? Great, that's Probably enough of that. Let's move into the next segment. It's time for viewer questions. If you have any questions you'd like to ask me, feel free to post them in the comments below, and I'll answer some of them in the next monthly month. Once again, I don't really have any viewer questions because don't really have any viewers, so I've come up with another question for you lovely people to answer. And that question is, what upcoming game are you most excited to play this year? Let me know your answer in the comments below, and have a good week, everyone.